Hello friends, welcome to the platform of Darshanik. This is Akshay Kadam. So guys, today in our classes we are going to discuss one topic from the syllabus, that is essence of ethics or dimensions of ethics. And in this topic we already had lot of discussions, okay, and we are going to discuss today the last debate under the dimensions of ethics, that is meta-ethics. And in meta-ethics we are discussing different debates, and today we are going to discuss last debate, that is culture ethics debate. So I have already discussed with you three debates under meta-ethics. So first, ground of moral status we have discussed in detail, and we also discussed in that debate, okay, concept regarding moral status of embryos, moral status of animals, and abortion right related debates. Then we discussed two important concepts about nature of ethics, essence of ethics, that is whether ethics is absolute or relative, or whether ethics is objective or subjective. Okay, and we agreed that all ethics is classified into these four categories. So ethics means some principles are morally objective, some are morally subjective, some are morally absolute, some are morally relative, and this debate is still unresolved one and goes on, and that's why we discuss this debate. Then today, now in the fourth debate, the last debate that we are going to discuss, that is our culture ethics debate. Okay, how culture and ethics are interrelated, okay, and does culture or can culture shape our ethics? Okay, can ethics be taught, can ethics be learned, can ethics be developed, can we able to create ethical society by teaching ethics? Okay, all these questions we are going to address in this debate. So culture ethics debates. So how does society or culture influence ethical beliefs? Can ethics be taught? Can ethics help create good individuals? Can ethics help create virtuous society? Can we inculcate virtues? Okay, इसका एक part I have already taken in one previous lecture. Okay, in the beginning we have taken one lecture on ethics, one lecture on morality, then we taken one lecture on relation between ethics and morality. Okay, and then I have taken also one debate with you, that can morality be developed, can morality be taught? And there we have agreed that yes, morality can be taught, ethics can be taught. Okay, so same debate we are going to discuss. So yes, if ethics can be taught, then where we learn ethics from? Okay, who teaches us ethics? And there I am going to discuss with you, okay, two charts, what we call socializing agents, who socialize us, who teach us ethics, teach us morality. Okay, so in this lecture we are first going to address this debate, that can ethics be taught, different opinion of thinkers about it, and if yes, then where we learn ethics from, that we are going to discuss in today's lecture, these two charts. और उसके बाद then next follow-up lecture, I am going to discuss the significance of those two charts in answer writing, how to use this chart in your essay ethics answer writing, and then in third lecture, okay, the last lecture under meta-ethics debate, okay, in which we are going to discuss the Kohlberg's theory of moral development. Okay, if ethics can be taught, if morality can be taught, and this socializing agent teaches morality, then to what level morality develops? Okay, is morality develops same level for everyone, or for some people there is extreme development of morality, and for some people there is no development of morality? So for that there is one psychologist, Kohlberg, okay, who studied development of morality scientifically, psychologically, and he came up with 6 stages of moral development, and this Kohlberg's theory of moral development will study, and with this we will end our meta-ethics discussion and we will go into second branch or second dimension of ethics, that is normative ethics, where we will be discussing about different philosophers, that is Aristotle, Plato, Socrates, beginning with, we will be continuing this discussion. Okay, and so can ethics be taught? Okay, can ethics help create good individuals? Okay, can ethics how does society culture influence ethical beliefs? अब ये भी debate we have already taken, so nothing new, and I told you culture through socializing agents shapes our morality, and morality of some individual ends up being a ethics of the society. So morality of Buddha, morality of Mahavira ended up becoming Buddhist ethics, Jainism ke ethics. Morality of Gandhi, Nehru, Patel, Ambedkar ended up becoming constitutional ethics, and constitution shapes our morality. Okay, and we learn about constitutional morality. So it's both way relation. Okay, culture can shape ethics, and ethics of some people can become the ethics of a culture. So morality of some people can become culture of ethics of culture. So this I already discussed. So let's see few more opinions of thinkers. Some opinion also I have discussed in the that separate class. Can morality be developed? Okay, so do check out that class also before going through this class. So Immanuel Kant, one of the legendary thinker in ethics, who gave the principle of universality and principle of categorical imperative, उसका जो कहना था कांत का, that within ethics exists vast gulf. Okay, within ethics exists vast gulf between theoretical speculation and practical implementation. And point is not to speculate but apply knowledge. See, there is a theoretical physics and there is applied physics. There are electromagnetic waves, theoretical physics. Mobile phone, applied physics. Okay, there is a electron, proton, etc. That is आपका physical chemistry. Okay, developing this lithium ion batteries is your applied chemistry. So same way in ethics, there are a lot of debates whether God exists, etc. All this meta-ethical debate, whether embryo has life, etc. Okay, what about there should be abortion rights, but what about fetus care rights? So all these meta-ethical debates, higher level debates, okay, is a theoretical debates. But Kant का जो कहना था कि there is a wide gap between theoretical speculation and practical implementation in ethics. And if you only debate ethics theoretically, but don't apply it on society, don't teach it to the society, then there is no use of ethics as a subject. And ethics should be able to solve day-to-day problems of the society, day-to-day problems of the people. And this gap between ethics and its application, theoretical debate of ethics and practical application of ethics, if we don't able to bridge this gap, okay, then the utility of ethics paper, okay, will be very less. Essence of ethics paper will be, or ethics paper will become useless. It won't have any essence as such. And that's why Kant का जो कहना था that there exists wide gulf between theoretical speculation and practical implementation, and point is not to speculate but apply knowledge. We should be able to create society which is ethical. We should be able to create much better world, much better society. We should be able to teach ethics to the people, inculcate virtue, and should be able to create a more virtuous society. And if you are not able to create more virtuous society, ethical society, then ethics as such has no utility. And so we should be able to create society which is ethical, and we should not be only descriptive about ethical norms. We shouldn't only describe ethics कि यहाँ पे ऐसा है, वहाँ पे वैसा है, ethics यहाँ से सीख सकते हैं, okay, या भगवान की जरूरत है या नहीं मोरालिटी में. इन डिबेट्स का फायदा क्या? Whether God is necessary for morality or not, ये अलग चीज है. Can we make people act morally? Can we ensure practical implementation of morality? That's more important thing. और यही issue Socrates का भी था. Okay, Socrates, when we study Socrates, then we'll discuss one concept, dialectic methodology. Okay, remember this word, very important word in Socrates की philosophy में. Okay, that is dialectic. This dialectic methodology. तो Socrates की methodology को dialectic, that is dialogue as a way of philosophical inquiry. और Socrates का कहना क्या था कि philosophy, ethics as a subject is not something that 4-5 philosopher एक यूनिवर्सिटी में बैठ के डिबेट करे हाई लेवल चीजें, देश कैसे बने, okay, लॉज कैसे बने, कितना टैक्स कलेक्ट करना सही होगा, क्या भगवान जरूरी है मोरालिटी के लिए वगैरह. ये थेरोटिकल चीजें 4-5 यूनिवर्सिटी के प्रोफेसर बैठ के डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, एंड दिस इज व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन इथिक्स, देन इट्स यूजलेस. और सोक्रेटिस का कहना था कि इथिक्स शुड बी एबल टू सॉल्व डे टू डे प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ द पीपल. ओके, इथिक्स शुड बी एबल टू हेल्प देम डेवलप मोरली and face moral dilemma and conquer moral dilemma. And that's why Socrates was saying that proper realm of philosophical inquiry, ethics के पेपर का जो major base जो है focus should be not 4-5 philosophers sitting in university debating ethics theoretically, but its major realm is the public life. We should be able to teach morality and help people solve moral problems. और यही उनका जो Socrates इसलिए instead of sitting in university, he used to come out in the market, used to stand on some platform, okay, and people used to come him and ask him questions of day-to-day life, and he used to debate those questions with them, teach them what is ethical, what is unethical, moral, immoral. People used to put their argument, he used to tell his own argument, and through these debates and discussions, okay, he wanted to discover the truth or understand the way what is more ethical and how to implement that. और इसी को वो बोलता था डायलॉग एज अ वे ऑफ फिलोसॉफिकल इंक्वायरी, डायलेक्टिक मेथोडोलॉजी. ओके, एंड सोक्रेटिस का यही ओपिनियन था, इफ इथिक्स कांट क्रिएट गुड सोसाइटी, इथिक्स एज अ सब्जेक्ट वोंट बी ऑफ एनी यूज, एंड दैट्स व्हाई वी शुड बी एबल टू टीच इथिक्स. सो देन इफ वी टीच इथिक्स कैन पर्सन लर्न इथिक्स? ओके, तो उस बारे में फिर भी अलग अलग ओपिनियन थे. सो देयर वॉज दिस शोपेनहावर, एक फिलोसॉफर था, इसका ओपिनियन ऑल्सो आई ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड इन वन क्लास. एंड शोपेनहावर's ओपिनियन वॉज इट इज फुलिश टू एक्सपेक्ट इथिक्स अवेकन्स वर्चुअस as aesthetics might awaken the poet. So it is foolish to expect ethics will awaken virtuous as aesthetics might awaken poet. तो इसका एक ही कहना था कि राजा मौली की मूवी देख देख के यू विल नॉट बी राजा मौली, और अरिजीत सिंह के गाने सुन सुन के यू विल नॉट बी अरिजीत सिंह. तो सेम वे ओके, इथिक्स की किताबें पढ़ पढ़ के यू वोंट बी बुद्धा, या क्या कहते हैं नाइकोमिकन इथिक्स पढ़ पढ़ के यू वोंट बी गोइंग टू बी एरिस्टोटल. तो शोपेनहावर का कहना था इथिक्स पढ़ाना मुश्किल है एंड वी कांट टीच इथिक्स. सिर्फ किताबें पढ़ के कोई इथिकल नहीं हो सकता. ओके, या सेम वे इथिक्स के बारे में जान के कोई इथिकल नहीं बन सकता. एंड देयर इज अ वाइड गैप बिटवीन द टू, एंड इट्स एज गुड एज इम्पॉसिबल कि कोई आर्ट एग्जीबिशन को जाके आप आर्टिस्ट बन गए, या कोई पेंटिंग के एग्जीबिशन को जाके आप पेंटर बन गए. जितना वो अनरियलिस्टिक है उतना ही इथिक्स सिखाना अनरियलिस्टिक. बट ये शोपेनहावर का कहना था. देन आई टोल्ड यू सोक्रेटिस हैज हिज ओन ओपिनियन, एंड सोक्रेटिस का सिंपल ओपिनियन था दैट इथिक्स कंसिस्ट ऑफ नोइंग व्हाट वी ऑट टू डू एंड सच अ नॉलेज कैन बी टॉट. सो इथिक्स कंसिस्ट ऑफ नोइंग व्हाट वी ऑट टू डू. सो इथिक्स में ओके सोक्रेटिस का यही कहना था कि इथिक्स इज ओनली कंसिस्ट ऑफ नोइंग व्हाट इज राइट एंड रॉन्ग, एंड दैट इज इनफ एंड दैट मच वी कैन डेफिनेटली टीच. सो सोक्रेटिस का कहना था कि राजा मौली की मूवी देख देख के कोई राजा मौली नहीं बनेगा. तो सेम वे ओके दैट एग्रीड, बट हमें राजा मौली बनना भी नहीं है. बट राजा मौली की मूवी देख देख के इफ यू अंडरस्टूड कि बॉलीवुड कितने घटिया मूवी बनाता है, दैट इज इनफ. ओके, सो यू शुड बी एबल टू एटलीस्ट जस्ट नो व्हाट इज राइट एंड रॉन्ग, और उतना नॉलेज हमें आ सकता है. तो बुद्धा पढ़ के हमें बुद्धत्व प्राप्त नहीं करना, बट बुद्धा पढ़ के नॉन वायलेंस या दुखों को कैसे डील करना, हाउ टू डील विथ योर ओन सफरिंग्स, उतना भी समझ में आया. दैट इज बिग डील. ओके, जैनिज्म पढ़ के यू स्टार्टेड टू रिस्पेक्ट लाइफ, दैट इज अ बिग डील. वेदांता पढ़ के यू स्टार्टेड टू ट्रीट एवरी ह्यूमन बीइंग विथ रिस्पेक्ट, डिग्निटी, ह्यूमिलिटी. हर किसी में आपको ब्रह्म दिखने भी लगा. ओके, दैट इज बिग डील. सो हमें कोई मोक्ष पाके या आदि शंकराचार्य नहीं बनना. ओके, बट यू स्टार्ट यू इंप्रूव योर लाइफ, यू बेटर्ड योर लाइफ, दैट इज इनफ. ओके, और यही गाइज ओके सोक्रेटिस का जो कहना था, दैट वी लार्जली एग्री दैट यस इथिक्स कैन बी टॉट. एंड अब ये इथिक्स पढ़ाते हैं तो प्रोटैगोरस और एक थिंकर था, उसका एक कहना था दैट सन्स ऑफ गुड पीपल कैन टर्न आउट बैड, सन्स ऑफ बैड पीपल कैन टर्न आउट गुड, दैट मींस इथिक्स कैन बी टॉट. तो हिरण्यकश्यप का बेटा भक्त प्रहलाद हो सकता है, दैट मींस बाप या फैमिली कैसी भी हो, बच्चा अलग डेवलप हो सकता है, दैट मींस इथिक्स कैन बी टॉट. और वाल्या कैन बिकम वाल्मीकि, देन इथिक्स कैन बी टॉट. And so, sons of good people can turn out bad, and sons of bad people can turn out good. That means ethics can be taught. Okay? So ये हम कहीं से सीख ही रहे हैं, कोई जेनेटिकल नहीं है. अगर जेनेटिकल हुआ तो sons of good people will always be good and sons of bad people will always be bad. But that's not the case. That means ethics can be taught. और उसी में फिर one of the legendary story हमारे अंगुलीमाल की. So अंगुलीमाल की जो स्टोरी है, okay? So अंगुलीमाल, a ruthless serial killer who is redeemed by sincere conversion to Buddhism, he is seen as example of redemptive power of Buddha's teachings and the universal human potential for spiritual progress regardless of one's background. Okay, so Angulimal, ruthless serial killer, okay, who by sincere conversion to Buddhism, okay, turned into a Buddhist monk. एक serial killer monk बन सकता है, mean ethics can be taught. अब ये जो अंगुलीमाल की स्टोरी है गाइस, आई वांटेड टू डिस्कस दिस स्टोरी इन लिटिल बिट मोर डिटेल सो यू विल गेट कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ दिस कंसेप्ट कैन इथिक्स बी टॉट का. सो गाइस अंगुलीमाल बचपन से ही व्हेन ही वाज बोर्न ही वाज हेटेड बाय मैनकाइंड, ही नेवर गॉट लव फ्रॉम पेरेंट्स, फ्रॉम सोसाइटी, कम्युनिटी, एंड बचपन से ही वाज वेरी गॉट ट्रीटेड वेरी बैडली, एंड सो ही गॉट वेरी अपसेट विथ ऑल दिस लाइफ. Okay, and he he grown up hating mankind. He become completely misanthrope, hater of mankind, and he went to a jungle, started to live in seclusion, alone, isolated. और कोई भी आदमी जंगल में आए, he used to murder him, kill him. Many people he murdered. And when Buddha came to know about Angulimal, he decided to solve this problem issue, and Buddha decided to go to Angulimal's jungle. Buddha was entered Angulimal jungle. He was walking deep into the jungle. Angulimal was watching that someone is coming into his jungle. Most of the people never used to enter Angulimal jungle. किसी की गाय भैंस भी गई जंगल में, बाहर से निकाल लो. No one used to even dare to enter the jungle. But Buddha was walking deep and deep and deep into the forest, okay, without not at all scared of anything. So Angulimal watched Buddha for a while, that whether he is hiding some weapon, etc. But then he realized he is not even carrying any weapon. Angulimal got a bit confused. He thought, let's wait, ensure that he is not followed by his followers, etc. Some people. But he saw there are no followers behind him. Okay. And then at one location, one moment, okay, he went in front of Buddha with his axe to attack Buddha. Most of the people used to run for their life, used to scream, get scared, okay, seeing Angulimal. But Buddha was extremely calm, composed, equipoised. Okay. That compassionate Buddha, Padmapani Buddha, ka jo facet. Now Angulimal got confused that why he is not running, screaming for his life, even not trying to defend himself. And so Angulimal got confused and he decided to ask him, Buddha, and then he thought that I will murder him later. And then he asked him, why you are not scared, who are you, how you are walking in my jungle without getting scared at all. And so then Buddha said that I am Gautam and log mujhe Buddha ke naam se jante. So Angulimal have heard that there is someone, Gautam Buddha, very big philosopher, कोई बहुत बड़ा आदमी है जो लोगों को दुखों से मुक्त कर रहा है, etc. He has heard about these stories from people, and so then he decided to that if he is Buddha, let's confirm whether he is really Gautam Buddha or not. Then we will murder him. And so both of them had a conversation, and we know in history you must have studied Buddha ke three facets of personality: Padmapani, Vajrapani, and Manjushri. So Padmapani Buddha, compassionate. Vajrapani, that is power of Buddha, that represent power, okay, and Manjushri Buddha, that represent Buddha's enlightenment, wisdom. So that compassionate side, Buddha was extremely compassionate. When Buddha spoke with Angulimal, okay, like he called him by his, he treated him or Angulimal like Angulimal is his son, okay. So like Buddha, he was a father for all those people. He treated him with that compassion. And for Angulimal, this was very unrealistic feeling. Okay, no one had treated Angulimal with so much of passion, with so much of love, compassion. This compassion, love, okay, sympathy was totally unnatural feelings for the Angulimal. Okay, and he totally broke down. And when Buddha discussed with him how he is doing wrong, killing people, increasing pain for the society, etc. And finally, Angulimal collapsed at his Buddha's feet and cried tremendously. Okay, he apologized for his deeds, and Buddha then said, "Give up these deeds, okay, and come with me, and I will take you with me, and I will teach you, okay, how to live a good life. I will make you my disciple, my monk." Uske baad ka part is more important. So after that, Angulimal asked Buddha that, okay, fine, I will come with you, okay, but बहुत सारे जो राजा महाराजास है, they had announced prize on my head. Anyone who murders me will get that prize, and people will murder him. Raja के soldier will kill me. I have murdered so many people. So Buddha said, don't worry. If I declare you as my disciple, my monk, okay, no one will kill you. So फिर Angulimal got that word from Buddha, promise from Buddha. But then Angulimal said, fine, people will not kill me, will not murder me, Raja ke log, they will not touch me, but no one will love me. कोई मुझे भिक्षा नहीं देगा, people will hate me, they will spit on me, they will beat me, they will not let me enter their village. I have murdered so many people, they will never like me. Okay, and to which जो बुद्धा का reply था, that is very important. And what Buddha said, that I can't help you with this. Okay, if you have done anything sin, and whatever your sinful past is, you will have to pay for your sins. Whatever unethical, bad karma you have done, you have to pay for your karmas. I can't wash out your sins. Okay, but all I can do or help you with, okay, is यहाँ से आगे how कि तुमसे फिर से कोई पाप ना हो, how you should control your evil impulses and how you should live a good life. Only that I can teach you. Okay, Buddha clearly said, I can't wash out your past sins. I can't change society ka view about you. Whatever you have done, you will have to suffer. If people do not let you enter their villages, you will have to suffer. If people do not give you bhiksha, you will have to suffer. People even spit on you, you will have to suffer. Because that's what whatever sins you have done, okay, you have to pay for your sins. All I can teach you here onwards how you will not end up doing sins. Okay, so what Buddha was clearly saying, there is nothing magical power that will wash out the past sins, but by proper practice and understanding of Buddhist philosophy, Four Noble Truths, Middle Path, Eightfold Path, you will be able to improve your life. So this Angulimal and Buddha ka jo conversation hai, was clearly talking that ethics can be taught. Okay, and that's what Buddha decided to teach society. When he achieved enlightenment, he decided that he will now remove the suffering of the society, and he walked, okay, and he went to Sarnath, okay, where he gave his first sermon, okay, and for removing the suffering of the people. Okay, sorry, Bodh Gaya or Sarnath, I don't remember exactly. So that Dhamma Chakra Pravartan, that process that he started, it began where he decided to teach society how to get rid of suffering and how live in more ethical, moral manner. So yes, ethics can be taught. और सेम में बुद्धा का और एक जो स्टोरी था कि when Buddha, okay, Buddha was telling his disciples about this issue of suffering. So Buddha just shared one story कि क्या ये जो पृथ्वी पे जो इश्यू चल रहा है मैनकाइंड में कि ये पृथ्वी मृत्युलोक है और ये सब छोड़ के स्वर्गलोक में चले जाओ, वहाँ पे कोई स्वर्ग है एंड देयर इज लॉट ऑफ प्लेजर्स इन हेवन एटसेट्रा. और वो जो मेटाफिजिकल कंसेप्ट है स्वर्ग, नर्क, आत्मा, परमात्मा, इनके चक्कर में वी आर नॉट लिविंग दिस लाइफ प्रॉपरली. तो उसके लिए बुद्धा हैज टोल्ड वन बेसिक स्टोरी कि एक आदमी रास्ते से जा रहा था एंड वन एरो, ओके, पियर्स हिज चेस्ट, वन एरो शॉट हिम, ही कोलैप्स्ड एंड देन पीपल केम टू हेल्प हिम एंड दैट गाय सेड, वेट, फर्स्ट टेल मी कि हु शॉट मी विद दिस एरो, व्हाट वाज हिज नेम. Then he said, wait, first tell me, did he shoot me because I was his because of personal revenge, I was his enemy, or I was a victim of some mistaken identity, किसी गलती किसी और को मारना था, मुझे गलती से बाण लगा. Then he said, wait, first tell me whether this arrow is poisonous or not. Okay, will I survive? Will I get handicapped? Will I get paralyzed? What will happen to me? And then one guy from that crowd said to that guy, see, first, okay, let us remove this arrow, let us save your life. और ये जो भी तुम्हारे क्वेश्चन है कि who shot you, why he shot me, whether arrow is poisonous or not, ये सारे सवालों के जवाब तब काम आएंगे if you survive this. But if you don't survive this, then all these questions are useless. और यही बुद्धा का कहना था. This is what happened with the mankind. Okay, everyone is suffering. Okay, but instead of addressing the suffering, सबको स्वर्ग, नर्क और आगे की पोस्ट लाइफ डेथ के बाद क्या, मुझे स्वर्ग कैसे मिलेगा, आत्मा, परमात्मा, यही चक्कर में पड़े. एंड दे आर नॉट एड्रेसिंग द क्वेश्चंस ऑफ दिस रियल, दिस लाइफ. एंड बुद्धा ने कहा, आई एम नॉट बॉदर्ड अबाउट मेटाफिजिकल कंसेप्ट. इवन भगवान है या नहीं, आई डोंट वांट टू गो इन दोस डिबेट. इवन गॉड इज देयर और मैं कोई सिन करता हूं एंड गॉड इज नॉट टर्निंग नीम ट्री आउटसाइड माई होम इनटू अ मैंगो ट्री आउटसाइड माई होम इनटू नीम ट्री, और मैं कोई अच्छा काम करता हूं and God doesn't change neem tree outside my home into mango tree. So even if God is there or not, okay, I don't bother about it, because definitely he is not interfering in my karma. Okay, and if I want to live good life in this life, I should take accountability and I should solve my own suffering through my own efforts. Okay, and that's how Buddha went on to address, know the cause of suffering and how to destroy suffering. He learned and taught to the world. So Socrates जैसे बुद्धा का भी यही कहना था, the major purpose of philosophy and ethics is to solve day-to-day problems of the society, and that both agreed that we can teach to the people. And so yes, okay, ethics can be taught, ethics can help create good individual, we can habituate people. जो Aristotle जब हम पढ़ेंगे, he gave concept of habituation, okay, by making people do repetitively some things. Okay, we can habituate people to be ethical. So just like by repetitive practice of horse riding, we can become good horseman. So by repetitive practice of punctuality, we can become punctual person. Okay, and so even Aristotle agreed ethics can be taught. So yes, ethics can be taught. So then who teaches us ethics? Okay, where we learn ethics from, or where we learn ethics from? So there are a lot of agencies who teach us ethics, what we call socializing agents. We will study about the socializing agents, and one of the most powerful socializing agent is our education system. एजुकेशन ही हमें ये नई वैल्यूज दे रहा है, अच्छी वैल्यूज दे रहा है, ओके, नेशनलिज्म इंकलकेट कर रहा है, पेट्रियटिज्म इंकलकेट करना है, ब्रदरहुड इंकलकेट कर रहा है, इक्वालिटी इक्विटी इंकलकेट कर रहा है, ओके. एजुकेशन इज टीचिंग अस नॉट टू प्रैक्टिस कास्ट और gender discrimination, etc. So education is very, very powerful tool, okay, to develop society. So education is not memorizing that Hitler killed 6 million Jews, okay. Education is understanding how millions of ordinary Germans were convinced that it was required, okay. Education is learning how to spot the signs of history repeating itself, okay. So education इसलिए should play a very important role, okay, of teaching or creating good society. So education is, that's why, should be very well crafted, well developed, okay, to teach the to develop ethical society. और इंडियन एजुकेशन सिस्टम का सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है ये कि वी डोंट टीच वैल्यू एजुकेशन, वी डोंट गिव वैल्यू एजुकेशन, वी डोंट गिव ह्यूमैनिटीज एजुकेशन टू दैट लेवल दैट एजुकेशन सिस्टम शुड गिव. और इसीलिए वी आर क्रिएटिंग इंडिविजुअल्स विथ ओनली IQ, नो EQ, और ओनली नॉलेज डेवलपमेंट, नो कैरेक्टर डेवलपमेंट, okay. Or we are only creating literate individual, not educated individuals. And this is very big issue in front of India. And like my ethics classes, I also take essay classes. And in my essay classes, I separately take 2-3 घंटे this module of education. Because guys, education पे बहुत ज़्यादा repetitively UPSC has asked essays, okay, on education. And especially major theme even in education essay is value education. So if you check last 10-15 साल के essays that UPSC asked on education, then you will realize that 8-10 times they have asked essays on education and values. So there is a knowledge and wisdom. इस concept पे बहुत सारे essay पूछे. So one essay was there is a rise in literacy but no corresponding growth of education in India. ये एक essay that they asked. Okay. So this type के जो essays है, there I discuss separately education 2-3 घंटे कि what is good quality education किसको कहते हैं, what are the different dimensions of education. So education में there should be value education, humanities education, then health education, sex education, sports education, education of practical development of practical intelligence, development of character, development of creativity. So बहुत सारे facets है education के. So that we will discuss in our essay classes separately. But remember, education is very, very potent tool. Okay, with education we can create good society, or like Hitler, we can misuse education and destroy the society. Okay, and that's why education is not just rote learning. Okay, education is not memorizing Hitler killed 6 million Jews. Education is telling that when Hitler was murdering 60 lakh Jews, why, how come he convinced ordinary Germans, okay, that it was needed to murder these people. And that's why education is ensuring learning how to spot the signs of history repeating itself. इसी लाइन पे भी एक यूपीएससी ने ऐसे पूछा था दैट हिस्ट्री रिपीट इटसेल्फ वंस एज अ ट्रेजेडी, सेकंड एज फार्स. और एजुकेशन का एज अ हिस्ट्री सब्जेक्ट का काम है, कोई चीज हिस्ट्री में होती है एक बार, फाइन इट इज ट्रेजेडी, बट वी शुड लर्न समथिंग फ्रॉम हिस्ट्री. एजुकेशन शुड टीच अस फ्रॉम ए हिस्ट्री दैट हाउ दिस हिटलर डिड दैट एंड हाउ हिटलर शुड नॉट गेट रिपीटेड. सो वंस इट हैपन ट्रेजेडी बट फिर भी रिपीट हो रहा है, इट्स फार्स, यू डिड नॉट इंप्रूव, ओके, or you did not learn from the history. So education का major purpose to give that learning to the society, to spot the signs of history, okay, and create a better society, better values, and develop more ethical society. उसी लाइन पे और एक पैराग्राफ था, okay, why it is necessary to teach ethics to the society, to the people. और उसमें एक appeal to a teacher from a school principal who survived Nazi camp. तो एक नाजी कॉन्सेंट्रेशन कैंप में एक जू टीचर, ओके, बाय द एंड गॉट सर्वाइव्ड व्हेन रशियन अटैक जर्मनी एंड रेस्क्यूड द जूज पीपल. वन ऑफ दैट जू पर्सन हु वाज अबाउट टू डाई in concentration camp but by chance survived, okay, that Jew person was principal, school principal, but the horror he saw in concentration camp, okay, then he realized that education का biggest purpose is not to give knowledge but to develop the wisdom. Education का सबसे important role is not to develop IQ but EQ, compassion, humanity in the people's mind. Otherwise what horrible terrors will happen if we in education fail to inculcate ethics, what horrible terrors will happen. उसका एक example और एक line he has written. A school principal who survived Nazi camp wrote, okay, I am a survivor of a concentration camp. My eyes saw what no person should witness. Gas chambers built by learned engineers, children poisoned by educated physicians, infants killed by trained nurses, women and babies shot and killed by high school and college graduates. So I am suspicious of education. My request is, help your student to be human. Your effort must never produce learned monsters, skilled psychopaths, or educated maniacs. Reading and writing and spelling and history and arithmetic are only important if they serve to make our students more human. Okay, and so today what he is saying, that if we teach only mathematics, physics, chemistry, bio, then and in education only give knowledge, then the terror that will get created, okay, is this, that gas chamber will be built by learned engineers, okay, infants will be killed by trained nurses who's supposed to save life, okay, they were using chemical injections to take away life even of a 1 or 2 month old babies, infants they were murdering, okay. So your efforts, your education system should not produce learned monsters, skilled psychopaths, or educated maniacs. Reading, writing is important, but at the same time, okay, value education, ethics education, moral education is equally important, okay. And that's why, guys, even this idea was advocated by Gandhi, knowledge without character is sin. Even Vivekananda supported the same idea that education should create a good character. So yes, education is very important agency, but education is not only agency. There are multiple agencies who socialize and teach us ethics. So education is one important, but there are many other socializing agents. So, okay, multiple dimensions from where we learn ethics, from where we learn develop ethics, that we will be discussing now. So, where we learn ethics from the socializing agents. Now there are almost 24 socializing agents. There are two charts and in which there are these 24 socializing agents. Now understand, guys, these two charts are very, very important. It has tremendous significance in your ethics paper. But not only ethics paper, this chart is very, very important in your essay paper or all your GS and even in optional papers. Okay. So what is the significance of this chart and how to use it in answer writing? Uske liye I will be taking the separate lecture, the next lecture, okay, how this chart to be used and how they shape our ethics morality. With one example I am going to teach you. Okay. So remember, this chart is a lifeline for UPSC. Okay. Now why it is lifeline? Stay tuned for the next video where you will understand. Lekin abhi, that how this chart, okay, helps us, okay, to develop ethics, understand ethics. So these socializing agents, guys, okay, continuously socialize us and inculcate different values. And which are these socializing agents who teach us ethics, develop morality? और ethics के पेपर में जो भी values आगे हम पढ़ने वाले, okay, where you learn ethics from, where you learn morality from, where you learn values from, where you learn attitudes from, where you learn stereotypes from, where you learn prejudices from, where you learn emotional intelligence from, कोई भी question आने दो, सबका answer same ही होगा. We learn all those things from these socializing agents, okay, and through their action, okay, enculturation, acculturation, through all these processes, we develop that value, ethics, morality, values, attitudes, beliefs, emotional intelligence, stereotype, prejudices, everything. Okay, so which are these socializing agents? So first is your biology, genetic, instinct, race, age, gender, hormone. If you want to develop ethics and morality, even race, age, gender, or even hormones, or they have the role to play. Like basic IQ is required for even development of ethics and morality. If some kid is a patient of autism, suffers from autism, or those kids who are unfortunately have cerebral palsy, okay, those whose brain development, okay, hasn't happened, basic biological development of brain isn't there, okay, then automatically without basic IQ, we can't expect any higher level of ethical moral development from those individuals. At least basic biology is required even to have values, hold values, okay, we need basic biology. At the same time, those neuropath, psychopath orientation, people who are mentally deranged, we can't expect any ethical moral development. And that's why, guys, okay, biology, genetics, instincts play a role in ethics, but उनका रोल बहुत कम है. Basic supportive biology is required for development of ethics and morality. Beyond that, it don't play much role. फिर उसके बाद your family, parental, child rearing practices. Yes, family is first socializing agent. Family, parents, okay, and child rearing practices, the way we develop. So हम किस फैमिली को बिलोंग करते हैं ये भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. द काइंड ऑफ चाइल्ड रिंग वी विल गेट एक्सपोज टू. ओके, आवर लाइक्स डिसलाइक्स एवरीथिंग इज लार्जली शेप्ड बाय आवर फैमिलीज, आवर पेरेंट्स, मदर्स. सो लादेन का बेटा लादेन बनेगा. ओके, सो नथिंग एल्स वी कैन एक्सपेक्ट बिकॉज लार्जली ही विल गेट सोशलाइज टू लर्न रेडिकल वैल्यूज. ओके, एंड ही विल ग्रो अप सपोर्टिंग टेररिज्म. या सेम में निर्भया के केस में दोज हु मर्डर्ड निर्भया, दोज 4 guys, okay, instead of being born in some family, had they been born in your family and got good child rearing, they would have been preparing with you for the competitive exams. Or instead of being born in your family, had they been born in Ambani Adani's family, they would have been walking with 10-15 girlfriends instead of raping someone. And that's why the society, or what do you call, family, okay, that we are part of, parental influence is very strongly shapes the society or values that we get. Okay, so if you are born in good family to good parents, okay, good values. Okay, so family, parent, child rearing practices is very important agency that shapes ethics, morality. उसके बाद education, schooling, textbook I told you. Even peer group, the friend circle we are part of, they also shape our morality. Okay, वो निर्भया के केस में अगर वो कोई अकेला बंदा होता, he would have raped her and murdered her. But because they are in a peer group, 4-5 लोग, they went to an extreme extent of torturing her in such a brutal way. Okay, so these peer groups, guys, also can have good positive influence or a bad, a very negative influence. So peer pressure, and especially in teenage years, peer pressure is very strong force that shapes our ethics, morality, habits, values. Largely addictions like smoking, drinking habits develop out of peer pressure in teenage years. Okay, उसके बाद मीडिया, तो मीडिया में भी या प्रिंट एंड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया, सोशल नेटवर्किंग, एंटरटेनमेंट, एडवर्टीजमेंट इंडस्ट्री, सबसे मोरालिटी इज गेटिंग डेवलप. Media creates role models for us to follow. So what kind of role models it is creating? Okay, role models like Honey Singh, okay, or role models like Arjit Singh. Accordingly, people's value system will get shaped. What kind of role models you have? Okay, like Vidya Balan or Sunny Leone. Accordingly, the value system or morality will get developed. And that's why, okay, which role models, kind of role models or movies society is creating. So how many movies, okay, society is creating like Animal, okay, or KGF, उसपे depend होगा what kind of future generations we are shaping, what kind of item songs Bollywood is making, okay, what kind, the way they are shaping value system, the item songs, उसके जो lyrics है, मुंबई के ना दिल्ली वालों की, these kind of songs, okay, then automatically this item songs से लेके media, movies, everything has very strong influence on development of beliefs, values, attitudes. So print and electronic media, okay, then आपका social networking is very powerful agency that shapes ethics and morality, because today the amount of time we are spending even with our parents, उससे ज़्यादा time we are on social media, we are getting exposed to social media. Social media is very very strongly shaping this values, ethics, morality. Then आपका entertainment and advertisement industry. उसके बाद individual psychology, ये भी बहुत matter करता है. And individual psychology may be level of emotional development, okay, personality factors, development of attitudes, stereotype, prejudice that we have developed, okay, and values, or values may be oriental value, occidental value. This value clash is going on. Today we are getting exposed to cultural religious value from our culture, religion, family, and we are getting exposed to western values through globalization, movies, media, etc. और उसमें जो clash है, whether to celebrate Valentine Day or not, etc. All these issues are outcome of this value clash, okay, psychological factors. So emotional intelligence, stereotype, prejudice, attitudes, values, तीनों topic है हमारे syllabus के. When we discuss these topics, you will realize how they also play a role in shaping our ethics, morality and overall personality. फिर उसके बाद acquiring philosophical knowledge, इससे भी ethics develop हो रहा है. Now when you are listening to my lectures, okay, you are learning about different ideas, thinkers, philosopher. अभी तक you had no idea about concept of ethics, morality. You had no idea about absolutism, objectivism, relativism, subjectivism debates. आगे जाके you will study Kant, you will study Bentham, and when throughout our course, when we will be studying these thinkers, and with the time when you will yourself study a lot of these theories, okay, automatically your ethical moral development is happening. You are developing ethically, you are developing morally, and so acquiring philosophical knowledge is also very important part of our ethics paper. Then technology, okay, technology is also, technological factors, they also play important role. Technology भी shape करता है हमारी ethics and morality, and I will discuss that separately in next lecture कि टेक्नोलॉजी का रोल कैसे है इथिक्स मोरालिटी में. जस्ट टू गिव यू लेकिन सिंपल एग्जांपल कि फीमेल इन कॉम्बैट रोल, ये जो डिबेट चल रही है, व्हाई दिस डिबेट वी आर डूइंग नाउ, व्हाई नॉट 100-200 years back? Because 100-200 years back technology, okay, wasn't developed in a manner, okay, the way it is today. 100-200 साल पहले या उससे हजारों साल पहले, if you want to go on war, you will have to ride a horse with 2-3 kg का sword and enter the battlefield, okay, and automatically then women can never fight. But today technology has reduced the role of muscle power from the battlefield. You just pull the trigger and bullet will do the task, press the button and missile will do the task. And so largely warfare is not masculine, largely warfare is now the mental game, and that's why muscle power ka role has been reduced from the warfare, and that's why female can also fight. And because of that, guys, okay, this technological factor, okay, also can shape ethics and morality. Technology reduce the role of muscle power, and that's why female could demand, okay, female in combat role issues. Same way society, culture, religion, socialization, enculturation, acculturation, okay, large number of values we learn from society, the society we are part of, culture we are part of, okay. So if you are born in Kenya and Somalia, the failed state, there are no education system well developed, there is no colleges, software industry, IT industry, okay, to give you good jobs, etc. Then most of the people born there will be using their talent to be the pirates. But you are lucky to be born in a stable society like India, okay, where we have so much of civilized democracy, law and order is functioning, we have so much of economic growth, development, many multinational companies, etc. are growing, and we have so many jobs, okay, settled life. We could live our life in a different way. So society you are part of, okay. So society, culture, religion, everything shapes our morality, and so even society, culture, and religion, okay. Even after working few years in IT industry, you went to America, Europe, settled there, you are now part of their society, and you learn lot of values as per their society, okay. और ये जो socialization है, through socialization we learn this new values. So which society you are part of also determines lot of your likes, dislike, etc. If you are born in Parsi family, a different society, different culture, you will not be preparing for UPSC, okay, because in Parsi society aim is clear, goal is clear, I want to be a businessman, okay, उनका परिवेश ही अलग है. So largely competitive exam is is more famous in a middle class families, okay. The way it allows social mobility, no other job can allow, and that's why mostly students who appear for competitive exam are from middle class family. Business class family kids का same है, I want to start a business, and thus socialization, which society you are part of, culture you are part of, shapes your values, ethics, morality accordingly, okay. And so क्योंकि आपका परिवेश ही उतना होता है, and you learn everything from that society. And इसमें फिर दो वर्ड्स है, एनकल्चरेशन एंड अकल्चरेशन. तो ये एंथ्रोपोलॉजी के दो वर्ड्स है. तो एनकल्चरेशन, अकल्चरेशन, एनकल्चरेशन मीन्स लर्निंग द नॉर्म्स ऑफ योर ओन कल्चर, अकल्चरेशन मीन्स लर्निंग द नॉर्म्स ऑफ योर, okay, others culture. So enculturation means when you are born you learn about your own culture, okay, कि मेरे कल्चर में क्या नॉर्म्स है, मेरे कास्ट के क्या रूल्स है, रिलीजन के क्या रूल्स है, देश के क्या रूल्स है, okay. This when you learn about your own culture, it is called enculturation. But when you go to America, okay, and learn about their culture, and your culture get weakened and you learn about their culture, acquire their values, it's called acculturation. So in Rome, be like Romans is a acculturation, and in India when you grow and become an Indian, it's a enculturation. So there are two processes that work to shape and develop ethics and morality. उसके बाद, okay, ethics, morality also shaped by constitutional values, fundamental duties. Constitution is shaping our morality. What Chandrachud in one debates used the term constitutional morality, the term which Ambedkar has already used in Constituent Assembly debates, that constitution also has a morality, that it wants, okay, India to get governed by. So constitution, largely constitution is today compared to society, religion, okay, constitution is the dominant force which shapes our morality. Constitution has fundamental rights, which we obey. Constitution has fundamental duties. All laws are being made using those DPSPs, etc. So yes, Constitution is also very strong force that shapes our morality. So whether we should allow homosexuality or not, okay, whether we should allow Jallikattu or not, whether should we give female entry into Sabrimala or not, all these decisions were taken as per constitutional morality. Then constitution के बाद laws भी हमारी morality shape करे. Okay, protection of children from sexual offences act, etc. Lot of laws are there. Okay, drunk and driving is not allowed. Okay, which things are allowed, not allowed, which movies you can watch, not watch. This regulation of movie industry से लेके everything. So even legal factor, judicial factor, they shape our morality. Then उसके बाद administrative factor, implementation issues, red tapeism, bureaucratic issues. Okay, so largely administration also shapes our morality. Okay, policing, governance, ये भी है. तो ये कैसे shape करते हैं? That I will discuss separately, exact process. But अभी सिर्फ याद रखना कि they also play a role, okay, in shaping the society's ethics, value, morality. Administration कितना quickly काम करता है कि लोग सड़क पे थूक रहे, how much they hold it them accountable. Okay, सिग्नल कितने फॉलो नहीं करे, हाउ मच वेल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन पनिशेस दोज पीपल, उनके चालान काट के डिसिप्लिन्स देम. ओके, सो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का भी रोल है टू इनकलकेट डिसिप्लिन एटसेट्रा, एंड थ्रू दैट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन कैन ऑल्सो शेप दिस मोरालिटी. कोई अगर कोई एट्रोसिटी करता है, देन यू हैव SC/ST एट्रोसिटीज एक्ट्स. लॉस तो है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल मोरालिटी है कि इक्वालिटी इक्विटी, लॉस भी बन गए, बट इफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इज नॉट इंप्लीमेंटिंग द लॉ और टेकिंग क्विक एक्शन, देन ऑब्वियसली इट विल क्रिएट लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम. तो ये भी है कि एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव फैक्टर्स, इंप्लीमेंटेशन इशू, रेड टेपिज्म. देन पॉलिटिकल फैक्टर्स, पॉलिटिकल आइडियोलॉजी आल्सो शेप मोरालिटी, गुड वे और बैड वे. नाजी पार्टी की जो आइडियोलॉजी थी, फैसिस्ट आइडियोलॉजी, जिसने पूरा जर्मनी और बर्बाद किया और दुनिया के 6 करोड़ लोगों की डेथ हुई. ओके, सो ऑटोमेटिकली गाइज दिस पॉलिटिकल आइडियोलॉजीज कैन बी गुड और बैड एंड दे कैन शेप द मोरालिटी ऑफ द सोसाइटी. सेम वे एनवायरमेंटल फैक्टर्स, क्लाइमेट चेंज. ओके, सो एनवायरमेंटल फैक्टर्स और क्लाइमेट चेंज, ओके, इससे भी बहुत सारी मोरालिटी इज लिंक्ड विद व्हाट वी कंज्यूम, व्हाट वी ईट, व्हाई डोंट ईट. ओके, जोग्राफिकल फैक्टर्स है वो लार्जली एनवायरमेंटल फैक्टर्स. ओके, सो इफ वी हैड वी बोर्न इन अ टेम्परेट क्लाइमेट्स, ओके, वी वुड हैव बीन ईटिंग नॉन-वेज because there is no choice, no luxuriant vegetation is available. So automatically, okay, your morality, values will be based or shaped by the environment around you, by the geographical settings, etc. Okay, largely जो agriculture societies है, वहाँ पे फीमेल का राइट बहुत curtail हो गए. I will explain you that separately. Okay, but जो tribal societies है, उनकी वैल्यू सिस्टम अलग है, वो काफी लिबरल रही, and females rights were never curtailed. Okay, landed property was never issue in tribal societies. Okay, so society, environment, geography also shapes lot of your values. Okay, same way agricultural factors, जो agriculture society, tribal society that I told you. Then organizational factor, business ethics. ये भी also it's very dominant point. The organization you work for, you will have to follow this organizational ethics. If you work in army, okay, you have army के code of conduct or ethics to follow. If you work in government, I become IS IPS, you have civil service code of conduct rule. और उसमें जो जो values है, morality के principle है, you will have to follow. So tomorrow when you are IS, then under civil service code of conduct rule, okay, you need to be IS with national outlook. You need to have civil service orientation. Okay, you should not be wasting government resources. You should be integral. You should be objective. You should be politically neutral. Okay, you should be impartial. ये सारी values are defined in civil service code of conduct rule. And as an organization, civil services expect you to obey those rules. So ये rules भी हमारी morality shape कर रहे हैं. So if you work in Tata, you will have to obey Tata's employees code of conduct rule. तो इसलिए ये organizational factors, business ethics, they also shape our morality. Then आपका historical perspective, history में हमारे साथ क्या हुआ, that also matters. So in India, in history, we have this Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Mahatma Phule, Savitribai Phule. तब जाके वी हैव द स्टेज ऑफ वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट द वे वी हैव टुडे. लेकिन कंपेयर टू दैट अफगानिस्तान, इराक, ईरान, वहां पे कोई ऐसा बड़ा फेमिनिस्ट पैदा नहीं हुआ. नो फेमिनिस्ट मूवमेंट्स गॉट क्रिएटेड. अभी दे आर एक्सपीरियंसिंग दिस इशू. ओके, सो मलाला या अभी जो ईरान में फीमेल्स आर प्रोटेस्टिंग फॉर देयर राइट्स, ऑल दिस फीमेल्स एंड ऑल दिस इश्यूज गाइज, ओके, इवेंचुअली दीज आर द हिस्टोरिकल फैक्टर्स. ओके, पास्ट में क्या हुआ, इससे इंडिया इज इन सम स्टेज. मिडिल ईस्ट के पास्ट में सच अ रिफॉर्म मूवमेंट नेवर हैपेंड. मे बी दे आर हैपनिंग नाउ, मे बी मिडिल ईस्ट विल चेंज इन द फ्यूचर. सो आपकी हिस्ट्री में क्या हुआ, इवन हिस्ट्री शेप्स largely our morality, ethics, etc. Okay, we got ruled 150 years by colonial powers, और ये colonial mentality is still impacting us. Okay, obedience to authority, गवर्नमेंट को अकाउंटेबल होल्ड ना करना, पॉलिटिशियन को अकाउंटेबल होल्ड ना करना, पॉलिटिशियन को सवाल ना पूछना, पॉलिटिशियन के पैर चुना, ये सारी मेंटेलिटी वो ब्रिटिश मेंटेलिटी है, माई बाप सरकार की, नॉट टू क्वेश्चन ब्रिटिश, हमें क्वेश्चन किया तो जेल में डाल देंगे, एंड वी स्टिल इनहेरिट दैट. सो हिस्ट्री में क्या हुआ, स्टिल ऑल्सो शेप्स आवर इथिक्स, वैल्यूज, मोरालिटी, एटीट्यूड्स. ओके, देन इंटरनेशनल फैक्टर बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग फोर्स है, ये भी ग्लोबलाइजेशन. लार्ज नंबर ऑफ वैल्यूज we are learning from globalization. Okay, all these issues, whether we should celebrate Valentine Day or not, okay, all these issues are outcome of this globalization process. So in globalization we get exposed to different values or cultural norms. Okay, and so joint family break होके nuclear family बनना is outcome of globalization. Our clothing pattern, our food habits have been changed, impact of globalization. And so globalization, okay, is also very dominant force today which is shaping the society, and globalization is bringing together different cultural norms. Western Indian culture is meeting. Okay, when you are working in multinational company, you have people working from different cultures, backgrounds, and it tremendously shapes our morality, ethics. And same way, economic factors, survey, budget, policies, your economic condition, economic background also shape your ethics and morality. Okay, where you are belong to business class, your mentality or orientation will be little bit different. Okay, so economy, yeah, economic policy, where we spend money on what we are spending money, etc. So economy is also linked, economy as a factor with your morality. It shapes morality, yeah, not just morality but your values, preferences, like, dislike. Okay, if you are from business family, you will have lot of business orientation in your mind. Okay, तो इसलिए, या इफ यू हैव वेरी गुड वेल सेटल्ड फैमिली एटसेट्रा, अच्छा पैसा वगैरह है, यू विल हैव द फ्रीडम टू लिव योर लाइफ द वे यू वांट. ओके, एक्ट ऑन योर ओन चॉइसेस एटसेट्रा. बट अदर पीपल फ्रॉम पुअर फैमिली डोंट हैव गोइंग टू गेट दैट लिबर्टी. ओके, एंड सो उनके आइडियाज, ओपिनियंस, ओके, गेट शेप्ड इवन बाय द सराउंडिंग. Okay, so largely economic factor also shape, okay, or linked with the little bit with the ethics, morality, etc. So all these factors directly, indirectly shape our ethics and morality. Almost 20-24 factors I have given you in these two charts. आपको इतना ही करना है guys. Okay, कोई भी question आता है, where you learn ethics from, morality from, attitudes from, stereotype from, prejudices from, values from, emotional intelligence from, ये 20-25 में से 10-12 फैक्टर लिखो, उस पर एक लाइन लिखो, योर आंसर विल बी कंप्लीट. नाउ हाउ टू यूज दिस चार्ट इन आंसर राइटिंग, ओके, दैट वी विल डिस्कस सेपरेटली. ओके, तो कल एक आध वैल्यूज लेके, लाइक डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस, एक बैड वैल्यू है, तो हाउ टू डील विद डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस और व्हाई डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस हैपेंस, ये चार्ट से कैसे आंसर करना, दैट विल डिस्कस इन नेक्स्ट लेक्चर. और इकोनॉमिक फैक्टर का एक एग्जाम्पल है डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस. ओके, कि फीमेल आर इकोनॉमिकली एम्पावर्ड, then they will not tolerate domestic violence. They will stand for the rights. Or even divorce rates are higher in either rich families or in very poor families. Because in rich families, female are independent, have their own wealth and money. In poor families, okay, female, okay, work even as a manual laborer, etc. But they are they are independent, not dependent on the male. But largely in middle class families, women are dependent on the husbands. And automatically, because women are dependent on the husbands, okay, largely, okay, divorce rates या domestic violence cases get tolerated, divorce rate is less. So economic empowerment आता है तो भी आपकी ethics, morality, values suddenly change हो जाती है. So economics is also linked with this way, with domestic violence or with the morality. तो ये कैसे यूज करना, that I will discuss separately in the next lectures to come. Okay, so that's how we learn ethics and morality. These are the socializing agents who teach us ethics and morality. Okay, so that's why अब UPSC ऐसा कोई कोड देगा आपको, स्टेटमेंट देगा, and they will ask you to write answer that you are personally responsible for becoming more ethical than society you grew up in. Okay, तो ये क्या कोड बोल रहा है कि doesn't matter what society you are born in, but you are also responsible, okay, to go beyond and develop your own morality. Okay, so even if you are born in a very bad family, you should develop your own morality. You are personally responsible to become more ethical than a society you grew up in. Okay, And that's why, okay, this development of morality can happen, and multiple factors play a role in development of morality. Family, society, culture, religion is one factor, okay. But other than that, society, education is your own choice. In education, you should develop your own morality. You should learn and acquire philosophical knowledge. You should develop right role models in front of you, okay. And by doing that, you can shape and develop your own morality. So person is personally responsible for becoming more ethical than society grew up in. अब ऐसे जो कोट्स आते हैं ना, उसके क्वेश्चन कैसे आंसर करा, वो धीरे धीरे आपको समझ में आएगा. वी आर जस्ट बिगैन आवर क्लासेस, ओके, बट विथ टाइम बहुत क्लासेस और होने वाले हैं हमारे. एंड व्हेन यू एज यू रीच द एंड ऑफ आवर कोर्स, देन यू विल रियलाइज कोई भी कोट आने दो, एंड यूजिंग ऑल दिस थियोरेटिकल अंडरस्टैंडिंग का बैकअप, you will be very easily able to solve all these questions. और बहुत सारी question answer writing practice we will be doing then. So don't worry about such a quotes. I will be here to give you a proper knowledge and framework how to answer these questions. So thanks for listening guys, and stay tuned for more lectures.